Hi, my name is Al Green. Not that one, but the struggling guy who was in the music industry for years trying to sell talent and songs to agents. The agents befriended me and taught me techniques that I want to pass on to you through my program, which is called You Can Talk, You Can Sell. Anyone who has ever taken this program has excelled in selling and either risen to the top of their company, their team, or the top of their field. It's called You Can Talk, You Can Sell, and you can get it right here. Did you conveniently forget your role as a salesperson and professional? Are you selling to a company? Or are you selling to individuals door to door? Or are you selling to a particular type of industry where you have created the product and basically you're selling yourself? The idea in many personally spun creations, such as, let's say you're selling a production, something I used to do, or you're selling your talent, or a band, or whatever it might be, or a production, or a movie, you might be in a position to where developing a relationship does not necessarily guarantee you anything other than to be listened to. And then most, and I do mean most, because I have interviewed hundreds of screenwriters and people selling books and people selling creations like art, and I have found that many of them don't consider themselves salespeople, and they don't know how to sell. And as a result, they don't know how to present. And there is no cookie-cutter format. And in my system, which is called the six-figure selling system, I want to teach you and share with you how you can do exactly that. Sell your productions or whatever it is that you create, whether it's an invention, or it's something of a unique style of consulting, which I've seen that as well. In this days of computers, that's very common, and that is something that you probably have a lot of competition. But let's say you have something where there isn't a lot of competition. What is your role? What is your role? Are you representing a company, or are you representing yourself? Even still, if you're representing yourself, you have to show your buyer that you are expert in whatever is the format of the item or items that you're selling. And you can't do it by being enthusiastic to the point to where you come across as not being too serious. And I've seen that too. People are so enthusiastic, people don't believe them because they're over the top excited beyond the point of professional. I'm not talking about a lot of different situations where you have a person that has a natural way about them. They have a way of sounding enthusiastic about their product, which you can do. I'm enthusiastic about me and my system because what I teach in my workshop, the six-figure selling system, is exactly how you can adopt professional tactics to your style and your way of selling. There is no cookie-cutter format here. And like most people believe, what they're taught, which is 99% of the sales trainings that I've attended and the books that I've read and the seminars that I've been to that are how-to, 99% of them, they focus on presentation. Folks, the presentation is not the key. It's all about getting the customer to say yes. Because remember, people want to buy, they just don't want to be sold. But you can give them lots of reasons to say yes. And there are techniques that you might not be aware of where you are leading the person towards all the yeses and they don't even realize it. That is a very, very important factor. You go to call in a company and the buyer is suddenly someone you're completely caught off guard to do business with. Let's say, for example, the time I was selling to a multi-million-dollar corporation, and they sent me to the apprentice buyer which was a very, very professional but very nice young woman who was probably about 22 years old. She was not skilled in business herself, so she was just talking to me on the basis of what do you got. She was like right down to the point to where having a conversation was darn near impossible because anytime I tried to start a conversation, it sounded like I was being more social than I was being professional. So I talked to her and said, are you new to this company? And she said, no. And I said, okay, tell me, are you in charge of purchasing? And I mentioned other products that I sell because at the time, the company I worked for, we sold hundreds. We had catalogs of hundreds, if not thousands, of different things that company could buy from my company. And this young lady probably thought I was flirting with her because I was being nice. But remember, I'm not there to flirt. I'm not there to use that time to further any personal agenda or tell my jokes or anything. I wanted to get down to the business. So I asked her if she had seen the main catalog that my company had, and then I handed her a couple others, and I said, these are all things that contain items that I know that you would use to help increase production. And I asked who the boss was so that I could find out what their interest is in increasing production or increasing the value of the products that I sell that would actually do something for their company. So I could say to them, this person led me into the right departments to maximize whatever it is that department was doing as far as production or time value or whatever. Now, in my system, which is called the six-figure selling system, my workshop is going to work with you so you develop your way of doing business, not my way. And these are not theories that I've read and trained people to do. These are actual experiences that has gotten people to increase their sales by 5 times, if not more. As a matter of fact, one of my first jobs that I had as a sales trainer was teaching a person to do the work that I did. It was for the company that I used to work for. And the first person that I sold to ended up outselling me because he was just that kind of a person who was out to prove whatever he could, and he got very good at it. But the system worked. And so, as a result, he stayed with that company for many years until he was transferred to another city, or actually, he accepted a transfer to another city. And that's the kind of thing that could happen to you. If you're working for a company, you could end up being in a better position, or you could end up doing what I did, which is going into management. Now, I didn't want to be in management because when they first offered me the job as a sales manager, I told them, I do not want to sit in meetings all day looking at reports. What I want to do is be out in the sunlight and go from place to place. That's what I enjoyed. And so as a result, I turned down the job as a sales manager and was offered instead the job as a sales trainer. And then I started teaching people that created their own products, how to sell what they create, which is a really fantastic thing that most creators, most writers, most people that have films that they want to sell, they have no concept of selling. Yes, there are venues. If you create a film, yes, you can go to the Cannes Film Festival, but that's not going to make you a established director or producer. In order to do what you have to do, remember the product still has to speak for itself. And that's true of any product. But at the same time, can you speak for your product in a way that I would want to buy it? Now, one of the biggest problems people have when they're pitching to, let's say, major studios or major art galleries is they do not know how to sell. They come from the place of, I'm not a salesperson. And those are exactly the kind of people that I do the best with. Because in the six-figure selling system, we will take you from absolutely no experience into not becoming a salesperson as much as being able to sell. So don't label yourself, but at the same time, do not eliminate yourself because of your doubts. You have a fantastic opportunity to be in business, and you have a fantastic opportunity to be impressive to people in a way that makes them want to move in your direction. Join me in the six-figure selling system, and we will go over that. Try my workshop first, and then we'll go on and I'll explain to you some of the techniques and some of the mistakes that people make. It's called the six-figure selling system. I look forward to seeing you there.